All right, everyone, welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Rome Wilkerson, guys. I'm coming from the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot state of Texas. I see Terry's in the house. Welcome, Terry. Welcome to the stream. All right, guys, we're going to set it off tonight, this Saturday night, May 24th. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Amazon. We are live on YouTube, and we are live on TikTok. So come on through. Y'all know how we do. Come on up in here. Drop your dad jokes. Drop your questions. You know, hang out with each other. Interact with the community, guys. We are one big family here. You know how we do. So we got a lot of tech to talk about tonight. Quite a bit. Now, a lot of this that we will be talking about tonight, guys, is my attempt to try and help some of you guys get started. Live streaming, creating content. I have a ton of tech in the carousel tonight. So if you guys do not see the carousel, that means that you're on a platform where you can't see it. If you come over to Amazon, you will be able to see the carousel. If you're looking at this or watching on your phone, the carousel will be off to your underneath. I think it's going to be underneath the video. And then if you're watching, no, it's going to be underneath your video if you're watching on a computer, because I'm looking at it right here on my desk. But if you're looking at it on a phone, the carousel should still also be underneath your video feed as well. So definitely check it out. A lot going on tonight. So we got quite a bit to get to. Terry is the first one in the stream tonight. So Terry's going to get Again, Terry, you will get to pick what we create with this final piece of yellow acrylic that I have left here. Why is my desk sliding around? Hold on. I don't know why my desk is sliding around, y'all, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Anyway, we shall deal with that later. All right, Terry, tell me what's been going on in your world. Anything good happening in your world that you want to share with the community? What's going on with Buddy? Let us know down in the comments as well. Let me make a quick little check here on our other platforms, making sure that we are getting a good video signal over to Facebook. And looks like we're good on Facebook. Looks like we're also good over on YouTube. I haven't had a chance to get over to TikTok yet to see what we got going on TikTok, but I will check that here in just a second. As soon as I verify that we are good on YouTube. Yes, we are. All right, so let's go over to TikTok and see what we got going on over there. Give me a quick second to refresh this page, and then we will get right into it. All right, we are live on all the platforms. So again, like I said, guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, drop them down in the comments. That's what we're here for tonight, as well as to have some fun. Yes. Okay. That's right. Alrighty then. All right, guys. So the first item I have listed in the carousel tonight for you guys is the Laser Pecker LP5. That's our 20-watt diode, 20-watt fiber laser. Now, this laser we will not be using tonight. I see Terry says a puffin. I'm gonna have to look that up, Terry. I'm gonna have to find a puffin for you. But anyway, let me go ahead and show you guys the laser here real quick. Let me grab it. All right, here we go. This is the laser right here. As you guys can see, Richard is already on the job. Richard says there's $369 off on this laser combo, guys. That's going to be this laser that you guys see right here, which is the LP5. This is a 20-watt diode, 20-watt fiber. It comes with this air purifier that you guys see down here. It also comes with this rotary chuck that you guys see over here. And it also comes with a slide extension. I can't show you guys the slide extension because it's way on the other side of the studio. But be assured it does come with the slide extension. All right, let me line this guy up here real quick. Whoops, wrong way. Let's go that way. Let's go down a little bit. There we go. All right, so Richard says, what did Richard say? So Richard says there is a exclusive promotion of $369.90. Yes, I also see Holy Chat is in the house. What it do? What it do, holy chat? Welcome to the stream. So, you know, I was just thinking about you when I walked over to my desk here, holy chat, because whoops. I'll be right back. Okay. I don't know how it is. I have to give Richard constantly blooper material. I have no idea. Okay. Anyway, here is your frog that we made. Here's your frog that we made on the last stream. So, oh my goodness, it's going to be one of those nights. I can tell you guys already. But anyway, here is your frog that we made on the last stream. And now Terry is asking for a puffin. So I guess that's what we're going to be making tonight. I guess that'll be a little buddy for your frog. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So the laser that we will be using for that tonight is going to be the laser from our friends over at X-Tool. That is this guy right here. All right, let me pull this out a little bit for you guys. So this is the laser we're going to be using tonight. This is the X-Tool M1 Ultra. This is a 4-in-1 unit. You have, what's so cool about it, you have a printing module, you have a cutting module, you have the laser itself. Let me open that up. You have the laser. Now this one has the 10-watt laser module in it, and it also has the cutting module, and you also get the pin module that you guys can see down there, and it does come with the set of the pins as well. This is what we're going to be using tonight to create our puffin. Same laser we used to create our frog a couple of nights ago. So let me go ahead and adjust this laser, this camera for you guys, so you're going to be able to see what's going on. There we go. I think that's close enough. Wait, too far, Rome. Nope, wrong way, Rome. Wrong way. Go back. Go back. Yes, stay right there, Rome. Okay. You know, I gotta steer myself. All right. So we have a little bit of this yellow acrylic left. So we're going to try to fit that puffin in there somewhere, maybe in that one little space that we have left right there. Of course, Terry comes up with something crazy, but that's all right. That's all right. That's how we do it. Whoo, righty then. I see Richard is also over. Looks like Richard is over on YouTube as well, saying hello to everybody. And Richard might be over on TikTok as well. I can't tell. All right, Richard, so let us know, Richard, which platforms you're watching the stream from. And if there's any issues, please, Richard, let me know so that I can try to address those while we're live. But anyway, I need to find a puffin. I need to find a puffin, y'all. Oh, puffin. And I'm assuming we're talking about a puffin that is like a penguin, right, Terry? Right, Terry? Penguin? Terry? Where did Terry go? Where'd Terry go? What's a puffin? A puffin is I think is like a I think it's like a penguin. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up. So let me do that. Let me look it up. Let me see if I can find it. Let's find our puffin. All right, let's look for a puffin. Yes, it does kind of look like a penguin. It kind of looks like a penguin. Cheeto puffin, no. Reese's puffin, no, we're not. No, holy chat, no. All right, let's go. Let's find us a cute puffin. Ooh, so many to choose from. I think we're going to go with this guy. I think. Yep. Yes. This shall be the one. This shall be the one to rule them all. Okay, let me save our puffin. All right, so we got our puffin saved. And now we need to open our Don't save that. We don't need that, but I didn't need that software to stay open. So, so I will show you. I'll show you right now what a puffin looks like. So give me 1 second to start up our software. We're going to be opening our Xtool Creator Space. Let me line this up on the right monitor size so you guys are going to be able to see what's going on. All right, let's go to our desktop. And of course the desktop is not working, so I got to go fix the desktop again. I don't know why it is. Every time I disconnect this computer, I have to go back and fix this. All right, let me fix it real quick. Hold on, y'all. Let me fix it because this happens every single time. I do not know why. All right, let's go to our display capture. Let's click there. We're just going to call it display capture. I don't care. That's good enough. And let's choose the right display. There we go. And also let's set this transform fit to screen. And then I'm going to drag that up here so you guys can see it. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side as well. Transform, fit to screen. And then I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Right about there, maybe. And then I got to drag it all the way to the bottom. Okay, so let me do that. Every time I turn this computer off, this disappears for some reason. I don't know why it does this, but it does. So, there we go. Now you guys know why I have to fix this. I had to fix this a couple of times. So here we go. All right, so there's our display capture. Let's go ahead and lock that in place. Make sure everything is locked in. All right, so let's go ahead and get to work. Let's get to work on it. Let me make sure I do have the right laser selected. So right now, guys, if you're interested in the Xtool M1 Ultra 4-in-1 crafting laser combo, it is $17.99. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new project here real quick. So it takes a few seconds for this to launch. There we go. And let's also make sure that we are, what is this? Remind me in 3 days. I don't want to do an update right now. So let's go here. Make sure we're connected to our laser. Yes, we are. All right, so let's go ahead and set up our tool path so we can make this puffin. All right, so let's get started. All right, so there is position number 1. Oh, shoot. Let's go here and there. And let's go position number 1. And position number 2. And let's move it back so we can set our depth. So there we go. That's done. Now let's measure our depth here real quick. I think it's going to be a little over 15 millimeters. I think that's about right. All right, so we should be good there. Okay, so here we go. So let's bring in our puffin. Let me go ahead and make this bigger so you guys can be able to see where we're working. And let me drag our puffin in as well. So give me a second. Where is the puffin? Where is the puffin? Where is the puffin? Where did the puffin go? Puffin go, puffin go. Where did it go? I don't know where the puffin went. So let me find it. Terry, your puffin has come up missing. Terry, your puffin is missing, Terry. I don't know where your puffin went. Hold on, let me find it. I know it's got to be here. If not, I'll just go back and save it again. But, it should be here. Where did Terry's puffin go? Come on now. We ain't got all day for this. All right, there it is. There's Terry's puffin. We just drug it in. All right, Terry, there's your little puffin. And we're going to do a couple of things here first. We're going to edit this real quick, and we're going to move. Go to our crop here real quick. And let's go ahead and drag this in here. and drag this side in about there. That's pretty good. Let's hit save. Okay, so now all we gotta do is make the puffin smaller so that it can fit within our workspace. Still a little too big. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Still too big, a little smaller. All right, so there's our puffin. It should fit perfectly. Shout out to High Rollers Cigar Club on YouTube. Welcome to the stream. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and grab our puffin, and let's go over here to our engraving settings. We're gonna do a power on this guy. Well, first things first. Let's go ahead and choose our material that we're gonna be working with. So we know it's gonna be that yellow acrylic. Let's go ahead and confirm that. And our power 60. I'm gonna bring the power up just a touch. I'm gonna bring it up to about 65. We're gonna stick with the speed of 150. One pass Jarvis. We're gonna do a few more lines here. Let's go up to 140 lines per centimeter. Bidirectional is what we're going for here. And we also want to cut this guy out. So let's go to our offset here real quick. And let's see if we can make that smaller. Bring that down to maybe about a 1. There we go. Pretty tight there. And we just wanted to cut on the outside. Hit confirm. Okay, so on our cut, we're going to bring that up to close to 100% power and cut. And our speed is going to be around a 3. 2 passes. Let's do a lower of the focus by 2 centimeters each time it passes so that we know it cuts straight through. And let's go back and make sure that all of our power settings are exactly what we need them to be. So we're still good on that one. Let's go back here on our outline again. We're good on that one as well for the cut. That's going to be this guy right here. 90% power. No, wait. 100% power and 2. That's what we're going to go with. 100% power and 2. So we're good. All right. Let's frame it up and see where it's going to fall. Let's switch back over. Let's hit our framing button. I think we need to adjust that for first, because it looks like it's going to run. Wait. Let me check something. Let's just go ahead and click complete. No, we're good. We're good. Okay, let's get ready to run this. Let's get ready to run it. So all I got to do at this point right now is just hit the process on here. And there we go. Let the information be sent over now to the laser. And we're going to be pretty much ready to rock and roll. All right, let's hit our start button. And our start button on the laser. All right, let me switch back over so you guys can see what's going on. All right, there we go, guys. We have started our engraving of the puffin on this yellow acrylic. All right, so while that's doing this thing, let me go ahead and talk about a few other things. And we'll just kind of be rolling on. I'm going to grab this camera real quick here and pop over here to one of the Blue Yeti batteries. You guys can see the battery we have listed down in the carousel. This is a Blue Yeti solar generator. Right now, the battery is $15.99. There's a 43% off from the original price. You can check this out. I use these batteries all the time, guys. I use these batteries to power a lot of the lights and different things here in the studio. I have been, more than able to really test these lights over the last these batteries over the last 2 years. I can honestly tell you guys, this thing is very dependable. So if you're looking for a high quality battery, whether it's for your man cave, she shed, your camping, emergency power outages, even to charge up your lightsaber, even if you needed to charge up your lightsaber, guys, this is going to be a win. So take a look at this guy. Now we got a couple of other batteries from Blue Yeti, so we're going to go ahead and talk about those real quick. So here is another battery, or set of batteries right here from Blue Yeti, as you guys can see. So both of these are 300 watt batteries, but the one that we're taking a look at right now is the AC A2, which is this guy right here, another 300 watt battery, AC and DC power delivery, integrated handle on this guy, really nice little screen. Let me go ahead and turn this guy on so I can show you. Let me power that on, turn on our AC power, and I'll show you guys how I use this battery every single day. I literally use that battery to power these desktop lights and to also charge up some of the other, tech that I usually keep on this desk right here. So as I said, and I cannot emphasize it enough, I use these batteries, guys. I use this tech every single day. Every single day, in some form or another, am I using this stuff. No different than this laser that you guys see here, or the Laser Pecker 5, the Laser Pecker 4 that you guys see back here, or even one of these Akir lasers. This is a 48 watt laser back here, and we got a few more lasers back there as well. So it just depends, guys. I use this tech every single day, so I can honestly give you my real world experience using these devices. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to drop them down in the comments, guys. That is what I'm here for. All right, let's take a quick look over here at our puffin as it's being engraved. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good so far. Let me turn this a little bit more so the guys over there on TikTok can see this a little bit better. Hold on, guys. Let me get adjusted for you. There you go. All right. So we have one more battery. Richard says we got 20K likes. Yeah! 20K likes, my babies. 20K likes. That's how we do. That's how we do. All right. So let me grab this other battery slash backpack from Blue Yeti. That is this guy right here. This is the hands-free one. This is a combination backpack with a built-in battery or removable battery. This is another 300 watt battery. You got AC and DC power delivery, two USB-Cs, two USB-As. You can even charge this guy with the solar panel. You have your standard AC plug on the back, AC input on the back as well. It has venting all around. Now the backpack itself is something that I use for photography, something I use for drone jobs. You got a lot of pockets with a lot of storage right here in the front. You have two additional panels right behind these pockets. Now one of the main panels here in the back is what I use for my drone. So you guys can see we have this pre-cut foam right here that you can, put your drone in, your controller, your batteries. I do have the Flymore combo for the DJI Air 3S. I have not received the Mavic 4 Pro yet, but we shall see how that goes. But anyway, that's the drone I use, for most of my client work. And this is the backpack that I use for that drone. And like I said, you have the battery built in to this backpack, which is super cool. You also have an additional little bit of storage right here on the top, and underneath this panel right here is where you push the battery in. You have water bottle slots right here on the side. You have really nice venting padding here on the back, and you have the nice little arm shoulder straps, that feels good. And it even has a little GoPro or action camera mount already attached to this. So that's one less thing you got to worry about buying or getting or whatever it is. So really nice design, guys. I do wish it came in different colors, but it is the Blue Yeti blue, so that's what we get. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at our engraving / cutting. All right, I can see our little puffin. Maybe you guys can see that down there. Probably not because it's yellow. But yeah, it's actually starting to cut it out right now. So we're getting pretty close. We're getting pretty close to cutting it out. So our little frog here is going to have a buddy soon. So our little frog here is going to have a little buddy that he can pair up with his other buddy, Richard. So all right, so there we go. See, you see they're buddies already. They're buddies already. Okay, that's my story, and that's I'm sticking to it. I'm gonna create a story just based on these guys. I'm telling y'all right now. So don't be surprised. Do not be surprised. All right, what do we got next in the carousel? All right, so the next item in the carousel, guys, is our DJI Air 3S. We were just talking about that. That would be, that would be this drone right here. Now, this is part of the Fly More combo. So you're going to get your RC2 controller. You also get the 3 battery packs, the charger, all of that kind of cool jazz. Let me just go ahead and pop this cover off so I can unfold this guy for you guys so you guys can see how large this drone actually is. So this is the size of the drone. Right now, these drones are in high demand. Now, this guy can fly up to close to 60 miles an hour. You have 4K up to 60 frames a second, slow motion up to 120 frames a second. You have 2 cameras on this guy. You have a 24 millimeter camera and a 70 millimeter camera on here as well. This has a 1-inch sensor. You have obstacle avoidance all the way around 360, and you also have a LiDAR sensor right here in the front. And that LiDAR sensor will work within, 1 meter at 1 lumen. So like the equivalent to 1 candle light, this will be able to detect something even almost in complete darkness. It'll know that there's something in front of it. And if you have it set to stop, it'll just brake. If you have it to bypass, maybe it'll try to fly around it, whatever the case it may be. Very, very smart drone, guys. Very smart drones. So if you are, looking for a drone for recreational purposes or for commercial applications, whichever the case it may be, this is a wonderful, wonderful drone for you guys to take a look at. All right, so let me go ahead and fold this guy back up because, no, Richard, I'm not going to be flying this drone in the studio, okay? No. You remember what happened last time I tried to fly this specific drone in the studio, and we will not be having a reoccurrence of that. So no. Yes, it was an interesting night that resulted in me having to climb on top of this desk and try to get up there on the ceiling to get this drone down because the obstacle avoidance would not let me reach up to grab the drone. Every time I would try to reach for it, it would fly higher up. I'd reach for it, it would fly higher up. So yeah. Good thing Richard couldn't see that. He could only hear me talking about it. He couldn't actually see it. So he has no footage of it. That's all I'm saying. So, but anyway, Fly More combo, guys. Amazing little drone here from DJI. Do you guys have any questions about this drone other than, Rome, will you demo the drone? If you have anything else you'd like to ask, I would be more than happy to do that. If you just got to see this drone fly, I got plenty of video over on my storefront. Even video of one of our new cameras tracking this drone in flight. So if you want to check that out, the Osbot Tail 2 was able to actually track this drone in flight in my backyard. So if you guys haven't seen that video, you can check it out over on my storefront. All right, let me put this back. All right, what do we have? Let me check on our puffin. I think it cut all the way through, but I can't be sure. I think it cut all the way through. I can't be sure, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to complete the task. Let's just hit complete. And just to be safe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run one pass just to make sure it did cut all the way through. So we're going to do just one. You know what? No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not even going to do that. Forget about that. Forget about that. Let's just see if it did cut all the way through. If not, we'll just have to run it again. All right, if y'all ready to see it, let me know down in the comments because I'm ready to show it. So let me go ahead and grab this guy real quick here. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see. Will it pass? Will it pass? Boom, shakalaka. Boom, babies, just like that. All right, it did fall through. No problem there. All right, so let's go back over to our top-down view. I want to see that. I am not even going to try to repeat what you just said there in the comments. You better be careful. Don't get censored. All right, don't get censored. Richard says the USB-C to HDMI cable. That's our 4K 60 hertz 6.6 feet cable that I'm just about to talk about as soon as I figure out what I did with it. All right, so here we go. Let's go to the top-down view. That's this cable right here that Richard is talking about. Now, the reason why I had to purchase this cable is because I wanted to be able to connect the controller for the DJI drone to another device so I could stream what the drone sees. So I needed a cable like this, which is a USB-C to HDMI cable. This is a braided cable, as you guys can see here. And yes, it worked right out of the box, no problem. You can get that guy right here on Amazon right now for 10% off, Richard says. $17.09. Definitely check it out. I'm trying to figure out what I did with my controller. I don't know where I put my controller today. Is it in the living room? Is it in here somewhere? I don't know where the controller went because I was about to demo something with the controller, but I don't know what I did with the controller. So, where? Oh, there it is. I see it. Oh my goodness. This studio is a mess, y'all. This studio is a mess. All right, so here's my controller for the DJI Air 3S. Rome, where's the controller? Right here in my hand, Richard, in my hot little hands. Here's the controller, okay? So you will need this cable if you want to connect the controller to maybe a monitor or to something like a YOLO box or the Osbot Talent, whatever the case is going to be, or just, a computer, PC, Mac, whatever it is, that's taking that. So all you need to do here is plug it in at the bottom to the USB-C input or output. It just goes in like that. Then you connect this to whatever device you want to connect it to. Let me go ahead and power this guy on. And let's connect this to our Osbot Talent. So for those who don't know what the Osbot Talent is, it will be coming up next, but it's actually this device right here. This has two HDMI ins, one USB-C in. On this side over here, you have an additional USB-A. I said USB-C, but I meant USB-A, two USB-As. You have line in, mic in, headphone jack, power button right here. Let's go ahead and power this guy on. Now, this can be used as a recorder or a streaming device or both at the same time. You do have a Ethernet connection right here. You can install a full-size SD card. You have USB-C out, and you have an input here for a 12-volt, 1.5 amp plug that comes with it. You can use Sony MPF batteries. You guys see I only have one of them on here because I'm actually charging the other one, and this will tell you when your battery needs to be changed. So I swapped out one of the batteries here real quick. It'll run on just one battery, so we should be good to go. So this is already powered on. Let's see if we can set this up somewhere here on the desk. Let's make a little bit of room. All right, so let me turn this controller on. All right, so let's power up our controller. And we're going to try to easily connect the controller to controller to this talent. So let's just go right here, HDMI in. You guys can see that, HDMI in. And I need to no, not now. No more updates. Everything wants to update on me, Richard. You see that? Everything wants to update on me today, Richard. Okay, so we're just gonna go here and let me see if I can just bring in, oh my goodness. Let's bring in the HDMI. So that would be HDMI 2, I think. Nope. That's not HDMI 2. Is that HDMI 1? It can't be HDMI 1. So I may have to unplug this first because I think I set these up out of order. So let me see what we get here if we can connect this. Let's hit cancel. Yes. And I'm going to unplug this. And I'm going to plug it back in. And this time, let's see if it sees it. So HDMI 1, maybe? Nope. Maybe HDMI 2. Nope. Okay, it doesn't see either one of them. So let me see what's going on here. I think I need to turn it off again. So I'm gonna turn this guy off real quick and it should connect it. So let me power this off. And because it didn't make the handshake. So let me just turn it back on again. And now it should connect. Like I said, there's an order you have to connect these in order to get them to connect the right way. All right, so let's wait for this to connect. Now, if I was connecting this to a monitor, like the monitor I have right here, usually there's not a problem with that. But once this powers up, we'll see what we get here. Anyway, this kit, guys, if you're interested in this, you can get it here on Amazon. It's an entire kit for the Ozbot. No, we don't want to do an update. And oh my goodness. Where is it? It won't let me see. Okay, I'm just going to go to, let me go to my simulator. While the simulator's loading, I'm going to see if I can get this to connect. All right, so there we go. We got it to connect. And here we go. So now we have the same thing on this monitor as we have on this monitor. And we have our flight simulator. So I'm going to try to adjust this so you guys can kind of see what's going on without this thing falling over. So I'm going to adjust that flight about there, tap on there, and I'm going to close the web graphics. All right, there we go. All right, so we have this set up, and then we have our flight simulator on the controller. So I'm just going to go to the flight mode. And then I'm going to fly this guy here as an experiment. So we're just going to go ahead and hit that. I'm going to go ahead and launch the drone. All right, so we're ready to fly. Let's go up. All right, so we're taking off. Let me change cameras. Let me see if I can get this camera here closer to the screen without dropping it. Okay, let's wish me luck. Wish me luck. Wish me luck, y'all. All right, let's tilt this guy down and let's turn it. And let's see if we can get this right at the right angle so you guys can see the screen now. So if I was streaming with this device, you would see me flying the drone. So we're going to go ahead and go up. I'm going to fly up a little bit. Then we're going to fly out. And let's go up over these buildings. And let's make a quick little turn here. Let's go down toward the blue building. Let's raise our altitude just a little bit. Now we're going to turn again. And we want to look down at the city. So I'm going to go ahead and switch our camera into a downward position. And go ahead and adjust this, line it up a little bit. There we go. Let's fly forward. You guys can see the cars, the trucks passing underneath. I'm going to go ahead and raise the altitude a little bit because I don't know how high the highest building is from this angle. But you guys get it. I'm able to fly the drone, and also I would be able to record this and stream this at the same time. So, you know, that's pretty cool that, you know, we have this capability for practice now with the DJI Air 3S. You're able to turn on this simulator with your RC controller, and you can literally fly, you know, program, well, it's not even program missions. You're just going to get on here and just fly however you want to. Let me go a little bit higher up so we can get above these buildings. So we are currently at 140 feet. We're going to go ahead and take it up to 150 feet. There we go. And let's rotate this around a little bit. And then let's go ahead and fly forward. Richard says we have 50K likes right now, 50K likes. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to go ahead and set the controller down and move the camera back a little bit so you guys can see how I'm using this in the studio. So here's the controller. Here is the monitor, or if I was using this larger monitor here, and I'll show you how I use this monitor as well here in just a second, as a multi-view monitor for the Ozbot Talent. So anyway, that's the use case for the cable. So let me know if you guys have any questions whatsoever about how I'm setting this stuff up. That's what I'm here for, guys. That's what I'm here for. All right, so let's go ahead and turn off our controller. I'm just going to go ahead and unplug this guy, and I'm gonna switch the controller off. Just press one time, then again, and hold it, and the controller will switch off. We can go ahead and close our little cover here. Throw this guy back here. So what's cool about that for me, I get to actually practice flight even when I'm not connected, when I don't have the drone. I don't want to take the drone and fly it in real time. I can just practice a lot of my drone moves and things like that. So it really, really, really comes in handy, guys. But this little cable makes it easy, like I said, to connect to monitors or whatever other device you want to connect to. And it's very inexpensive. As you guys can see, this was only $18.99, and I think Richard found a coupon for it. I did skip over my iPhone. We'll talk about that really quickly here. That is this phone right here. This is the iPhone 16 Pro Max, nothing special there. This is the 250 gigabyte variant. Of course, it has the new cameras, the new processor. It has the new photo button right here. This is the Pro Max, so this is the larger of the iPhones. All of the iPhones that I have, this is the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The iPhone 15 Pro Max is this guy right here that I use as an alternate camera for showing you guys different angles. This one has become my everyday, you know, actual real phone, you know, that I actually talk to people on. I had junk food cravings today. Chocolate cookies, Hostess zingers. Stop, Terry. Stop right now. Because that means right after this stream, now I got to go get some cupcakes. I'm going to have to go get some apple pie. See, Terry, you a bad influence, Terry. You a bad influence. You a bad human, Terry. Today you a bad human, Terry. I'm gonna send this puffin over to peck you on the head, Terry. All right. All right, so let's go back to the Ozbot talent and accessories. So let's pop back down here on the desktop real quick. All right. So we have the Ozbot talent right here. Let's go ahead and turn our web graphics back on. I'm going to tilt this guy up just a little bit so we can see it. There we go. So here's our Ozbot Talent. As I told you guys before, this is a multi-device. It's a recorder. It's an encoder. It's a monitor. It's all that kind of jazz, right? And you can also connect a variety of different cameras to it. You can play back pre-recorded video. So if you have some pre-recorded videos, you can play them on here. You can set it to auto switch to whatever, you know, recordings that you have. You can stream, you know, to different platforms. In this case, I can stream to YouTube. I can stream to Twitch. I can stream using NDI. I can stream using SRT, Amazon, Facebook, all of that kind of cool jazz. Now, the cameras that come with this guy, let me show you. here real quick. So here's one of the cameras I was using earlier today. So this is the Tail Air. So right here, you guys see that little guy right there? This is a PTZ camera. It has, man, a ton of features, guys. You can install an SD card in it. It has an internal battery. It can record 4K 60, slow motion, 120 frames a second. This is an excellent camera when it has tracking capabilities, people tracking, pet tracking. The bundle also comes with this remote that you guys see here. Now, originally I was given 3 of these cameras, but I gave one of them away to one of my friends who had just started streaming, and I wanted them to have a really good camera. So now I only have 2 of these cameras. So I have the this Tail Air here, and I have the other Tail Air, if you guys can see it back there. Now, both of these are connected to our switcher via SRT. So let me show you how that works. So all I have to do right now is turn this camera on. Let's turn this guy on and wait for it to power up. All right, it should be waking up right now. You guys will see the little lights are starting to turn on, and then it will connect over to the Talent. And then we'll see that reflected right here on the Talent. You guys see no wires, no wires, no wires. All right, so there we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we're getting on the Talent. So if I come over here to the Talent real quick, I can scroll down and I can see that video source coming in right here. There it is. So I can click on that. And as you guys can see, it's looking at this desk right here. That's basically what it's pointing at. Let me grab the remote and let's turn this remote on. And this should be camera number 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it should be camera number 1. And there no, it's camera number 2, my bad. Okay, so camera number 2 is on. So we're gonna also turn this guy. No, maybe that is camera number 1. Yep, it is camera number 1. So let's turn that more toward the desk. And you guys can see here how easy it is. I can use this controller to adjust where the camera is. I can, tilt up, I can tilt down, I can pan left, I can pan right. All of that are controls. I also have presets. I can hit one of those presets and the camera will automatically go to whatever preset that you have set up. All of this comes in the bundle. All right, so let's set this camera down here and let's adjust this so you guys can kind of see the desk the way it's set up here. All right, so we have this camera right here, and then we have the Talent right here, okay? And let's move this phone out of the way. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna connect it to this monitor that you guys see here, so you'll be able to see things a little bit better. So we're gonna use this monitor, and let me grab the cable. Let's plug this guy in. And let's make sure this monitor comes on. So we got it set to multi-view. There we go. And now I can kind of switch this monitor around a little bit for you guys to be able to see it. Let me scoot this guy over. And let me adjust some of these cables. Richard, don't make fun of the cables. I told you, bro, the cables are serious, bro. The cables are serious, okay? But anyway, so now you guys can see we have the Talent. We have our multi-view connected to this monitor right here. And we have this camera connected. So on the multi-view, we can see all of those other videos that I mentioned before. I can click on one of those videos and then it will start to play. I can also switch to a different camera. If we have a different camera connected to this device, we can also do the picture-in-picture. We have all of that, flexibility with this device, guys. So I'm telling you, if you're looking to start up a live stream or create content or maybe broadcast, for your company, your family, your friends, your church, whatever it is, you can connect a keyboard to this. You can connect a mouse to this, okay? So many cool things you can do with this guy. Now I'm gonna grab some other cameras. We're gonna connect those cameras to this as well so you guys can see how easy it is to bring other cameras in. So I'm gonna take this camera and set this guy right here. I'm gonna tilt it up a little bit. And let's wait. Wrong way. Wrong way. Down, down. There we go. Go the other way, Rome. Go the other way. All right, there we go. So let's grab this other camera. That's going to be this guy right here. Let's go ahead and power this one on as well. All right, so we're going to wait for that one to boot up. Let's just turn it this way where it's facing this camera. Like we got a camera face-off. A camera face-off. All right, so we're waiting for that guy to come on, and as soon as it does, it should also be connected. And as soon as it does connect and I can see it, I'll show it to you guys here on the monitor as well. All right, we're just waiting for the connection. This to turn green right here. It's still booting up. Come on, camera, you're embarrassing me. You're taking too long. Turn on. This must be the Richard version of the camera, y'all. This is the Richard version. Okay, well it'll be booted up in a minute. There we go. It's finally booted up. Oh my goodness, Richard, you are the slowest camera. Yeah, I named this one Richard. All right, so let me switch over to the Richard camera. So we have the two cameras now set up. So we have both of them. I can switch back and forth between the two cameras. So let me show you guys. So really easily, there's one sitting here on top of the laser. Here's the second one connected to the desk right next to the laser. And then we have both of our monitors over here. So you guys can see, I can just tap here and I can switch the camera views really easily. I can also use this controller to control the camera. I think that's camera 1. Let's see which one it is. Camera 1. Nope. Let's go to camera 2. Let's zoom in. I can't tell. Oh, there we go. So it's camera 2. Let's zoom in. Let's move it a little bit that way. Let's go back. Let's come down. And let's get a tight shot on that battery. You guys see that? So yeah, you know, it like I said, having the controller to be able to control these cameras, especially if you you can already, use the controller to program your presets. You can also log directly into the Talent with a Mac or PC and do a lot of these setups, in its web app. But, having the physical remote really comes in handy. So as an example, I can easily hit one of these presets, and you guys see the camera's going to do whatever it does, whatever I had it preset for. Here's preset number 2. Here's preset number 3. And let's go back to preset number 1. So you guys get the idea. So you can have a number of presets, 3 presets per camera. I have 2 cameras on here, so now I can switch over to camera 1. Let's say I want to zoom in. Let's switch over to camera 1. And then I could use that tele-rocker. I can zoom in. I can zoom back out. I can also use the presets that we mentioned before. So all of those cool things you can have for your show, for your podcast, your live stream, whatever the case is going to be, guys. I mean, it's just a lot of creativity potential you have with these devices. So again, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, let me know down in the comments. Now, we did get a new camera from Ozbot just a couple of days ago. So let me show you guys that camera as well. Let me move a couple of things around the desk. All right, so what you guys are looking at right now on top of this laser is the tail air. Let's grab the newest camera, and that is this guy right here. This is the Ozbot Tail 2. Look at the difference in the size of these two cameras. Can you guys see that? The difference in the size of these two cameras is crazy. Now, I've seen bigger PTZ cameras. Don't get me wrong. I have seen bigger ones, but this one is substantial for it to be the type of camera it is. Now, this camera also has some really unique features built in. Check this out. You have your line in, you have your mic in, you have full-size HDMI on this guy, you have your RS-232s for your PTZ controller, you have your SDI, you have your Ethernet, and that's power over Ethernet. You also have USB-C power and data on the back of this guy as well. All right, so let's go ahead and power this guy on. Let's hit the little button right here. Now, this is more than just your standard PTZ camera. This is a PTZ-R camera. This is a PTZ camera. This one is the PTZ-R. What the R means is that it can actually rotate. So if you shoot or create vertical content like you normally would, say, on for Instagram or for TikTok or something like that, you'll be able to use this guy in, in that portrait orientation. All right, so let me make sure this camera is connected. Let me switch back over. Okay, so let me show you guys over here. So we're back over to the monitor, and you guys can see all three of the cameras. So this is the main camera right now, which is the Tail 2. We have a couple of other cameras connected here as well. So I can switch back and forth between any of those camera angles just using the talent. Now, I do have a couple of monitors that are touchscreen. I should have grabbed one of the touchscreen monitors, but hold on. Is this one touchscreen? I don't think it is. No, it's not. But anyway, let's just go ahead and switch over so you guys can see how easy it is to set up your show. You can have your startup screen. So let's say you're doing a live stream and you want to have a startup screen. You could have that with music. This monitor does have speakers, so if you want to keep track of that, that's cool. Then when it's done, you can just pop in just like I normally do in my stream and just start talking about whatever. Again, you're going to be able to control all of the cameras with the controller. So I'm going to switch over to number 3. I'm going to hit is that camera 3? I think I'm on the wrong camera. Hold on. Wait, which camera am I on? Okay, that's camera 1. Which camera is that? Oh, wait. Hold on. Camera 1. Where is it looking? Nope, wrong camera. Camera 2. I don't know where that camera's looking. I don't think that camera's even being seen. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me fix it. Okay, hold on. All right, let's just turn this guy around here. All right, so let me go into... Which camera is that? That should be main 1. So that would be edit and delete. Let me grab that one. That's going to be SRT. And that should be this guy here. Nope, wrong one. Nope. Okay, let's try again. SRT. And this guy. I don't know if that's right or not. I think that's right. Okay, let's save that one. So let's switch over to that one. And let's rotate the camera. And let's zoom out. All right, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so now we have all of our cameras connected. So we have the 2 cameras that are here on top of the laser. We have the 3rd camera right here. All of them are connected wirelessly. So again, I can just go here and I can switch between any of those camera angles, as you guys see. And I can also use the preset. So right now, the video that you're seeing right now should be coming from, that should be coming from the Tail 2. So let's go ahead and hit one of the presets on there. You see that? We're going to zoom in. Preset number 2 is going to zoom in over on me. You guys see it's looking at me over here. Preset number 3 is now looking at something way over there for some reason. Let's go back to preset number 1 because that's a crazy direction for it to look. But you guys get the idea. So again, guys, in a nutshell, if you are looking for, or you know someone, or maybe your church, your organization, whatever the case it is, could benefit from something like this, definitely tell them about these cameras, guys. Hold on, let me get this guy set up. Let me bring this camera back around. There we go. So if you think they might be interested in something like this little setup here, I think this would be a great investment for a school, for a church, for a small business getting started. There's so many different cameras that you can experiment with, especially from Ozbot, guys. So we have some other wired cameras that we can take a look at as well. So let's go ahead and go really quickly back over here to our top-down view, and let me show you guys a couple of other cameras. Now, these cameras are not wireless. These are wired cameras. So you will have to connect them to the devices using a cable, but let me grab them and show you guys. All right, so we got two more cameras here. We have the Ozbot Tiny 2 Lite, and that's going to be this guy right here. Now, this one does require a USB-C connection. You're just going to plug your cable in. This one also has the tracking capabilities. There is a remote available for this one as well. It has a 1/4 underneath it. That's how I have it mounted on this little tripod you guys see here. So if I wanted to connect this camera to this right now, all I have to do is plug in a USB-C cable to it, and we're pretty much good to go. This same camera will work excellent for your for your live streams, your recording, whatever. Now, this is a 4K. This is a 4K camera right here. There is a 1080p variant of these. They both are pretty much the same other than the maximum resolution. They can both do 60 frames a second. They can both do slow motion. They can both do, your PTZ features, your panning, tilting, rotating, human tracking, all of that kind of stuff. They can all be controlled by a Mac, RPC, or smartphone app, depending on how you have everything set up. Many new tablets like the iPads can, take one of these cameras, so you'll be able to use these with your Mac devices, or a YOLO box, or the InStream, or whichever device you guys might be interested in. So definitely check these guys out. All right, so any questions whatsoever, drop them down in the comments. Now, when it comes to audio, most of you guys know I use a Rodecaster. So let me show you guys here real quick. This is my Rodecaster Pro. That would be this audio interface that you see right here. And I also use this Rode Procaster microphone as my daily driver, as my audio microphone. But if you're looking for something that's going to travel well, that's going to be portable, I recommend a couple of different wireless microphones. Now, I'm not married to any specific brand, but one that I use quite a bit is from our friends over at Anker. It is the Anker M650 wireless microphones. Let me show you guys those real quick. That is actually these microphones right here. Let's take these guys over to the desk and let me give you a closer look at these microphones. All right, here we go. All right, so check it out. So in the little case here that looks like a sunglass case, you get two omnidirectional microphones. You also get your receiver, and this also comes with two adapters, one for Lightning, one for USB-C. They just attach here on the back. You have your little clip on here for clipping these onto things. Really nice design with these. The individual microphones have these, interchangeable little covers on here. Now, mine came originally all black, but it also came with a gold cover and a purple cover. So I just put one gold on one and black on the other. The clip on here does come off. It uses those rare earth magnets, which makes it easy for mounting this on a shirt, but it has your standard clip, configuration as well. These do have internal recording. They do have noise cancellation features built into these as well. And the case itself is also a charger case. So when you drop those microphones back in, it will charge the microphones. It charges the controller. You get a really long distance on these guys for transmission line of sight. I used to use these every single day in conjunction with my iPhones when I used to use my iPhones to create a lot of my little shoppable videos. So I can tell you guys from experience, these are very good microphones. So like I said, if you guys are looking for some portable microphones that's going to fit easily in your backpack, your travel bag, or whatever the case it is, and you're going to be combining it with some of the other stuff that we took a look at tonight, this is a great option for you. Now, if you do need, to be able to do sound effects, voice effects, all of that stuff.
Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
If you're pondering what I'm pondering, you will most likely need something like the Rodecaster Pro 2, the Rode Duo, or something like that that has the ability to play back MIDI files, all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, it is definitely worth having, guys. So definitely check it out. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Doom, 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 doom. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Let me get your file alrighty here. All right. So what do we have next? Next in the carousel is only a couple of more things left. So let's go ahead and go through those. All right. So the next item in the carousel is Richard's favorite. Believe it or not, Richard literally reaches out to me every single day. He's like, Rome, where's the fog machine? Rome, where's the fog machine? I'm like, Richard, we can't put the fog machine in everything, Richard. We can't use the fog machine for everything, Richard. Richard be like, yes, we can, Rome. Yes, we can. There's nothing that we cannot use the fog machine for, Richard. Rome. And I'm like, okay, Richard. Okay, right. Okay, you're probably right, Richard. Anyway, this portable fog machine right here, guys, is from Cobor. This is the CF5. It has interchangeable heads, so you got two different heads. This head here actually has little LED lights in it. It has an additional fan. Think about it like a vape setup. So you just press and hold this little button right here. It's going to power this guy on. Your little LCD right here is going to light up. Now this is also going to show you what your fan level is and also the amount of fog that's going to come out of this guy. You got a little button right here that you can press, and that will rotate this to about a 60-degree angle, and that'll just make it easier for you to project the fog pretty much wherever you want to project the fog. Now, this head right here also has an additional fan, beside the one that's built in here. So now what I can do is I can raise up the fan level. You guys can hear that fan? You hear that fan? All right. And then I can hit the little M button. Now I can also adjust the color to this guy. So I'm just going to grab any color. Let's just go and move it into, yeah, that purple looks good. Okay, so we got that purple color. Now when I hit this trigger button right here, watch what happens. Watch the magic. Watch the magic. Here we go. What is happening? Yes, we got that fog. We got that fog. That's right, babies. We got that fog in the room. And Richard is, I bet Richard is jumping for joy and clapping, and he's going, Hercules, Hercules, show me the fog, Rome, show me the fog. But anyway, this cool little device right here, like I said, if you do product videos, if you do anything like that, this is going to be one of your best friends. Now, it also comes with an additional head. Let me show you guys that. So this is the other head and some other attachments that come with it. Now, what's cool about this is you can actually do that dry ice effect that you probably see in some people's videos where they have the dry ice, fog look going on things. So let me show you guys what that looks like. Let me switch back over to this camera angle. And you guys can see our little cameras down here. All right, so we're gonna lay some fog down on this laser right here. All right, let me make sure I got my everything set up. I got my fog ready. All right, here we go. There we go. Let's drop this fog. Y'all check it out. Check it out. Here we go. So I'm gonna bring that fog around, up in here, around there. Boom, just like that. Just like that. So if this was a product video I was working on or something like that, that would give us that cool ethereal look. We can also backlight this. So we could take like one of these little lights you guys see here. Let's go ahead and power this guy on real quick. Let's throw that back there in the background. So now we get that kind of an orangish glow to the fog. So yeah, it's a lot of cool things that you could do with something like one of these kits, guys. So let me know if you guys have any questions about it. I got a bunch of answers. They may not always be the right answers, but I do have answers none the same. So, I got those. All right, so let me turn some of this stuff off. And let's turn this little light off as well. Where's the button? There we go. And let's turn off our camera. Let's power that guy off too. All right, let's power this guy off. There we go. And we got one more camera on. That was this guy right here. Let's go ahead and power that one off as well. All right, we're good. Okay. So let's go back to our top-down view. All right, so here we go. So let's go ahead and switch off the talent. But like I said, if you guys have any questions about the talent or any of the things that we've used so far tonight, let me know down in the comments. I will do my best to answer those for you guys. Now, there are other streaming tablets that are available. Let me grab another one here real quick and show you kind of the difference. So we also have, where is our YOLOBox Pro? Why is it so far away? Come here, get over here. Whew, good thing the camera wasn't on that. But anyway, we have two other two YOLOBoxes here in the studio. So let me just go back to this angle and show you guys. So let me highlight the YOLOBox. So the YOLOBox Pro, the YOLOBox Mini. Let me show you guys. So this is the YOLOBox Pro, and this right here is the YOLOBox Mini. You guys can see there's a significant difference in the size of these guys. But like the Talent, it has a number of similar features. You have 3 HDMI ins. You have 1 HDMI out. You have your Ethernet right here. You also have, let me show you closer up. You also have your USB out, I'm sorry. So 3 HDMI ins, USB in, Ethernet, HDMI out, USB-C out. You have your headphone jack, line in, mic in options. You have your power over USB-C. This guy also has a full-size SD card, but this one also takes a SIM card, meaning that you would be able to live stream in easier situations because you don't have to depend on Wi-Fi or Ethernet. So if you have a good carrier with a strong signal and you have a SIM card like you would normally have inside of one of your phones, you'll be able to use this to live stream as well, which is really nice. You can also output the video source from this guy to an additional monitor, but you guys can see this is a much larger screen here. All right, so I'll show you really quickly here what it's like to run this. I'm just waiting for it to connect. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set up a quick show. The difference with this one is that one of the things I like about the Talent is that I don't have to keep creating these shows even if I've used one, because it just memorizes the show. But this one, you actually, after you use the show, you have to come back in and create a new show. But you have the ability to bring in up to 3 HDMI sources, 1 USB source. You can bring in, video files off of an SD card. You can bring in a live stream PDF. You also have your images, and you also have your NDI here as well. And you also have some multi-screens that you can set up, like a picture-in-picture. You have a couple of those. You have 2 split screens. You have 2 side-by-sides. You have 2 different news layouts. And then you have 2 triple layouts for this guy as well. So it has a lot of similar features built into it. 1080p, you have replay, you have record, you can stream to up to 3 different destinations with this device, where with the Talent, you can only stream to 1 at a time. You can also bring in your own graphics. So it has image overlays, it has lower thirds, countdown timers that you can use. It also has your web graphics you can bring in, your titles you can bring in, your social media bugs, things like that. You can bring those in to your stream as well. You can, as I mentioned, stream to multiple platforms. You can also bring in live guests. So if you wanted to bring someone into your stream, that could even be to a phone. You're just going to send them an email through this device and then enable their camera and their microphone, and you'll be able to bring them in, especially in one of those 2-up type of settings. You do have audio controls with this guy as well. You have your scoreboard. chat, so you can have actually comments coming in. You can actually go in and customize what you want the comments to look like when they display on the screen, which is really nice. You can also set this to auto switch between different camera angles. So for my DJs out there, this is going to be, you know, ideal to have multiple cameras set up, or at a wedding or conference where you have one main camera and a bunch of, you know, B and C cameras, and this can automatically switch between those. And of course you have all of your normal settings and all of that stuff, you know, for this device. Now, like I said, I've had this device for a couple of years, but it is still a very powerful device, especially for someone who's just getting started. Now, there is a smaller version of it, which is the YOLOBox Mini. Now, the YOLOBox Mini, guys, is, you know, you guys can see here the difference in the size. But what's nice about the YOLOBox Mini is that it is going to be more portable. It's about the same size as the Talent, but this one is limited to only one HDMI in, one USB in, one HDMI out, Ethernet line in, mic in, headphone jacks, USB for charging. This one also takes a SIM card, and it also takes a full-size SD card in here as well. The metal cage that you see on both of these does not come with these. That is an additional purchase, just to be clear. This one has kind of a plasticky, rubberized body, where the Talent actually has an all-metal body. So, you know, if that's a concern of yours, you know, I just wanted to make you guys aware of that as well. So, yeah, the Talent, YOLOBox, whichever product you guys might be interested in. Now, the YOLOBox itself right now is, this guy right here is $998, and it offers a lot of features. So definitely check it out. All right, so the last item, or last two items we have listed in the carousel. Let me grab these. Where did those guys go? Man, I am having the worst night tonight of losing stuff. I have lost so much stuff tonight. I don't know where half this stuff is gone, but while I'm still looking for it, I'm just gonna go ahead and power off this guy. All right, there we go. So that's turned off as well. And I'm gonna turn off this light back here. Is that off? Yeah, that's off now too. Okay, and of course, don't forget to turn off this remote, because I forget to turn these remotes off all the time and run the battery down all the time on these remotes. All right, so, shoot. I don't know where, Oh, I see it. I see it. It's back there. It's back there. Let me get it. All right, let me get it. All right, here we go. All right, so these are HDMI transmitter receivers. That is this little bundle that you guys see right here. So what's cool about these, without going too far into it, these are basically going to give you the ability to transmit video sources to a monitor, from a projector, from a computer, from a different device to another device. These are very user-friendly. Basically, what you get in the box, you're going to get a transmitter and you're going to get a receiver. Now, both of these natively have the full-size HDMI, but they do come with the adapters so that you can, you know, fit these to other things like an iPad or a phone or whatever it is you want to, you know, connect to the other device. But as far as reliability and work, they are very easy to set up. They are very plug and play. Literally, all you gotta do is plug them in and provide power to them, and they just start working, guys. So these are really nice as well. Currently, these are $149.99. If you're interested in that, especially my gamers out there might be interested in something like that, so definitely check it out. All right, let's go back down to our desktop. Richard says the receivers has a $20 off coupon, which brings the price down to $129.99. All right, my babies. All right, that's how we do. All right, so let's go down here to the desk real quick. All right, it is time. It is time. It is time, y'all. Hold on. I got to get everything set up. I got to move this monitor off to the side. I have to move this mouse off to the side. I have to get the frog. I have to get the puffin. And I have to get the Richard. All right, y'all. So we got the Richard, the puffin, and the frog. Okay. Let me get my blower. All right, y'all. We're about to have that race. Richard versus the frog and the puffin. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn the power up on this guy real quick. And of course, is this thing dead? No. All right, let's turn the power down because that's way too much power because that's going to blow this thing across the room. Okay, so we're ready. Here we go now. Richard. Richard, this was not my idea. Okay? This was not my idea. I'm going to tell you right now, it was not my plan. But Terry told me that Renee told her that Holy Chat asked them to tell me to do this tonight. So that's who's responsible, okay? That's what happened. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's get to it. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, we're up to 2. Here we go. Count it down. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Did you see that? Richard jumped right out. All right, let's try it one more time. You know we got to do 2 out of 3. Here we go one more time. Number two. I'm bringing it down. 1, 2, 3. Richard wins again. It's probably that big head. That's probably why Richard be winning, because that big head is aerodynamic. That's what I was told. I don't know that for a fact, okay? But anyway, all right, here's race number 3. I don't really think these other guys can come back and win, but we're going to see what we get. Here we go. Boom, there we go one more time. Richard is already out front. I don't know who's going to... Oh, the Puffin won. Okay, so the Puffin won one time. The Puffin won once. Richard won twice. We were doing 2 out of 3, so I guess Richard still wins. So, you know, I got to come up with an AI story for tomorrow of Richard and the Puffin. Richard and the Puffin and their friend, that's a frog. So we're going to have to come up with some kind of little AI story for this. So if you guys got any story ideas, get at me. You know, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You know how we do. Let me know what y'all got in mind, and I'm going to try to come up with an AI story so we can bring all 3 of these guys to life. It is alive. It's alive. Okay, anyway. Whew. All right. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I am in more trouble than you can even imagine, because Richard is gonna be coming for me. I already know this. So I'm not even worried about it. I'm not worried about it because I know it's gonna be cray-cray. I know this, man. But anyway, last item in the carousel are these drawstring backpacks that you guys see right here. So if you would like to put some light in the eyes of someone in our communities, especially our homeless community, our women's shelters, our pet shelters, these are amazing little bags you can get right here on Amazon, guys, for only $11.99. Fill them with, also like what we do, is items that we find right here on Amazon: toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, Band-Aids, pens, pencils, Richard's, little hat, when he stop bumping into stuff. You know, we can put all of that, you know, socks, underwear into one of these. And if you run into some people out there in the world, guys, and they're, you know, they're flying one of those signs asking for help, just hand them one of these bags, guys, and just get on down the road, do what you do. But at the same time, you're sharing some love with someone in the community. It might be a little bit down on their luck. And trust me, they will start to recognize these bags. They will keep these bags for a long time, because then even after they use everything that you provided to them, they'll still have this drawstring backpacks they can still use for a variety of different things like storage or whatever it is. You guys know how we do. So our goal every day is the same, guys, to be a good human, to do good in the world, to shine our light on the community, and to encourage others to be that pebble in the pond so that we can ripple out our love and affection onto the world every single day. Baby Rome, y'all know how we do. You know this. You
know this, man. Babies. Terry said Baby Rome. She don't know what she's talking about. Baby Rome. Whatever, Terry. You don't want that smoke, Terry.
Because Baby Rome has a dark side.
You don't want the smoke, Terry. I'm just saying. In case you don't know, Baby Rome could come up with a story. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's put it to that. That way, I am completely outside of the loop, and I can be responsible for nothing. None of it's gonna be my fault. It's gonna be Terry, Renee, Holy Chat, and Thor, and the cigar guy, and Hope, and everybody else is going to be responsible for what might go down later tonight or tomorrow. Rome takes no responsibility whatsoever. Ain't got nothing to do with it. Nothing, okay? I ain't got nothing to do with it. But anyway, it's time for me to go ahead and wrap it up for the night. Y'all know how we do. So it's time for me to drop it like it's hot, my babies. Here we go. Babies, be safe out there, guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask when appropriate, take care of your loved ones, get out there and create something amazing in the world each and every single day. Y'all know how we do. Be a good human. Share that with me. Let me know what you're doing in the world every day, every week, every month, and you are encouraging others to do the same. Let me hear about it, y'all, because I still want to make y'all some shirts. I still want to make y'all some, some coffee mugs and all that stuff with the Be a Good Human on it. Pay it forward. Y'all know how we do. But anyway, it's time for me to go ahead and roll on up out of here. Time for me to say them magic words. Peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. Bam. Don't forget to follow my man Richard over on TikTok, because if you're not following Richard, you're not going to see the bloopers. And I'm telling you, if you're not seeing the bloopers that Richard is putting down, you are truly missing out. You have no clue how funny these bloopers are. You think I'm funny? Put some Richard Funk on top of that, and it's on a whole nother level, okay? A whole nother level. Y'all have no clue. You ain't got no clue. You ain't ready for this. I'm telling you, you better get over there to that TikTok and get at my boy Richard. I'm just saying. But anyway, I gotta go, babies. I got stuff to do. I gotta go make some pizza. I gotta go and chop it up in the kitchen. I gotta go do my ninja cooking. Y'all know how I do. You know how them people be doing the walk on the runway? That's what I be doing in the kitchen. I be just slinging it, y'all. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I be coming at it, y'all. I be coming at it. So I'm just saying, you ain't ready for this. You ain't ready for this, okay? But anyway, I gotta go. Love y'all. Peace. I'm out.